Cameron, we've two conversations, I think, one about you and then maybe one about the team wider. Your striker, goal tally. It's all about goal tally for strikers. How are you feeling with the amount of goals you scored this season? You happy?
Not really, no. I think I maybe can. Well, I know I can score a lot more goals. I don't think I've had that many chances. I think I've been quite clinical with the chances I've had. Obviously, coming through not halfway through the season, but a little bit in the season, always going to take a little while to get into your stride. But I think I found that. But I think for all our dominance and all our creative players, we don't create that many chances as a team. When I look at some of the other teams, I think some of the other players in the league certainly get a lot more chances than some of our strikers. But obviously, as a striker, you are judged on goals, and as a striker, you just want to score goals as every time you're on the pitch. So from my perspective, I'm no different.
You do a lot more than scoring goals, though, and you seem to play with a big smile on your face a lot of the time. You're enjoying your football, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, for me at my stage now, that's I keep saying to the boys, it's a young man's game. You're judged on age a lot, and there's so much emphasis based on age and player trading and buying potential and buying younger players and potentially selling them on for more value and things like that. So I'm well aware that I'm not going to be around forever, so to speak. So this could be my last season. I don't know. So I've got to just enjoy it whilst it's here. And obviously I enjoy playing in this team with the lads, and obviously playing for the gaffer, and the style of football we do play. It is a nice style to play in and a nice team to play in. You could play in a lot worse teams. I've played in a lot worse teams in my career, and sometimes it ain't nice. Even if you are winning games, sometimes you're still not enjoying it. So the main thing is, like you say, is enjoyment, and to play with a smile on your face is no better feeling. And like you say, touching on what you just said earlier, I think I am more than goals. I have been throughout my career. It's not just your goals, what you bring to the table, but ultimately, the game's so analytic at times. You are judged solely upon that. So it's a tough one really sometimes.
No, I think anyone that watches the Dons will realise that there's more to you than just the goals. That's plain to see. What kind of dynamic has Will Grigg added to the situation, because he's come in and he's a player that everyone's gone, well, he's not going to score goals. He hasn't scored goals for Sunderland, he's not doing it. And he's come in to a former club and he's looked great, and he looked slotted in really nicely. What's that meant for you, Cam?
Personally, I mean, for myself, it's just taken that little bit of pressure off in terms of the gaffer got another person he can rely on. Obviously with Grigg's qualities and his record. Already, he had a tough time at Sunderland, and sometimes styles and timing doesn't align always. And I've been at clubs where you've gone in as a player who's had a period of success at a previous club, and then it's took you a little while at the next club to get going, or you haven't quite got going, and sometimes that's just what it is, and no one can put their finger on it. And obviously he's coming here, and he's comfortable here because he's been here before, and he's bought right into what we're doing, and obviously he's shown his qualities. He's worked hard for the team, which the gaffer obviously is pleased for, and then obviously he's got his goals, and he's chipped in with a few assists as well. So he's been a hell of a recruitment since January. So this gives the gaffer another dimension at the top end of the pitch, and I thought we was lacking that option up until January. So it was nice for the gaffer to be able to get another one in to take the pressure off. Myself and Mace, with Carlton going and Steve going. And obviously Charlie's probably one for a little bit later, further down the line. So it just gives us that extra dimension, definitely. And obviously with someone of Will's quality and capabilities, it's always good for the team to have that.
I don't think for Toby, who's on this call with us, will probably verify. I don't think MK Dons have had this situation where they've had three strikers, and as you say, Charlie, a younger player that's being developed through for as long as I can remember. It's been a long time coming, and it is nice to have somebody like Charlie there that can feed off the three of you, learn things all the time, and he's bagged goals this season, so that's great.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously he'd come in, and obviously this is his first sort of rodeo not in the first team, but around the first team squad, and his first sort of permanent move away from obviously Chelsea. So you can see he's got ability, and obviously the manager sees him as a longer term prospect. But it's nice that he's been able to contribute in the times that he has been asked to come on and play. So I mean, for him, it was obviously nice to see him get his first couple of goals last couple of weeks, and he'll be hoping he can build on that and obviously finish the season strong with a little bit of momentum, and obviously have a good pre-season behind him and take it into next year and be challenging for a regular slot.
Cameron, I just want to ask you about your gaffer, because he comes across to us and as very measured and very intelligent, very focused on what he wants to do and wants to achieve. What's it like working with somebody like that has very clear ideals about the process?
He's not intelligent. No, he's obviously he's really. I'd say I always said it when he was playing. Russ is really focused. He knew what he wanted from a long time. He always was going to be a manager. You could see that from him as a player, how he conducts himself as a player, and he set the wheels in motion to do that a long time ago. So it's something that he's thought about. It's not what he's just stopped playing yesterday and then someone's asked him to manage a team today and he's just sort of going with the flow. This is his ideas, his philosophy, it's his way of playing. This is what he believes in, and he'll stick to this. And it will come good. It will get better. We will improve. He's had another transfer window to sort of change things around, bring one or two more bodies in, and we've looked better since then. We've looked a lot better, in my opinion, in terms of how we're playing and things like that. We've not quite got the results maybe to match. We've slipped off in the last couple of weeks, but that's on us. As players, you've got to take responsibility as well. It can't always be the boss to take the heat for the team's performances and lack of results. So I mean, he's had like I said, a window to bring a couple of players in. Maybe he needs another window to really shape the squad a little bit more, and then I think you can be judged on the basis of that as a manager. I think sometimes managers are too easily judged and too easily criticised when sometimes they inherit things which they might not want, or things what they might not or players they might not believe are suited to the style what they want to play. Sorry.
And just finally, it's a bit of a sticky patch at the moment, as the manager said it as well. It's just one of those moments where things aren't quite going to plan. We hear this word a great deal in football, unity, and we hear the word togetherness. In fact, I think we hear it in football more than any other profession. What is it like at the moment? Everyone in the same direction? Is there a confidence that you can get out of this little sticky patch?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, like you say, it is one of them things where a lot of teams go through it. I mean, if you look, higher up in the divisions, like say Liverpool, you wouldn't think Liverpool would have lost, 6 games at Anfield, 7 games at Anfield, whatever it is, in a row. So it's like it can happen to any team. It just shows, it happened to the best team in the league in Europe, best team in England, and the best team in Europe. They're going through it at the minute. So I mean, look, from our perspective, there's no pressure in this year. There was no expectations to get promoted. I think we was in a little bit of a false position maybe a month ago where a lot of people was talking, can we maybe get promoted? Can we maybe chase the pack down? But for this team, it's about building. It's a transitional year, and that's what you've just got to focus on, just improving on the pitch. Results will come. Performances have been there. I can't say many times performances have been off, or lads have down tools and lads have looked downtrodden and beat before they've even gone out there. It's not the case. We've never looked like that as a team this year. Some of our better performances have been when we're fighting from a goal back or 2 goals back. So you can never, criticise us of that. So I'd say,
there will shortly be a test of the fire alarm system. Please do not take any action.
Jesus, yes.
Oh, I've missed that.
I've not.
So like I said, boys, I personally think it will go. It's a phase what we're in at the minute, and we'll have to play our way out. We'll have to fight our way out. We'll have to find some sort of way of winning. And I think once you win, then the games are so thick and fast. 1 win turns into 2, 3 wins, and as you've seen, we're capable of turning out 2, 3, 4 wins in 5 games. So and it seems puts a little bit of a different perspective on things.
Thanks, Cameron. Appreciate it.
Props.
The manager made no secret of the fact that there was a bid for you in January, and you mentioned just there that you didn't know where your future was going to lie. I mean, you even said that it might be even your last season, which, given the form that you've shown, I reckon you've got at least another 2 or 3 left in you. What was you thinking in January? And obviously, you're happy playing for MK Dons, but where do you see your future, or when do those discussions begin?
I think they naturally begin at the end of the season. I think as a player, you know, especially someone of my age and experience, it's something that I've always just got on with, you know, in terms of, you know, all throughout my career. You know, I've always played first, and then what will be after, sort of thing. So I'm in no rush to sort of, decide on anything in terms of going forward next year or things like that. And, you know, obviously I know, you know, through conversations with the manager and things like that, there's, you know, potentially an option for me to be here again next year. So, you know, I suppose that, you know, it'd be a decision based upon family and things like that. And obviously with the COVID situation, it's not really helped anybody, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm enjoying my football. I'm playing with a smile on my face. There was a little bit of interest in January, but it didn't materialise to me moving away. So yeah, you just as a player, you just got to be professional and get your head down and continue doing your job.
Of course, there appears to be a career in the media for you afterwards, potentially. You're doing a lot of media commitments as well at the moment. Yeah,
I mean, it's something I enjoy. I enjoy watching football. You know, like you guys, you enjoy, you know, seeing different footballs at different levels. So, no, it's obviously coming to the back end of your career, you've got to sort of start, you know, planning for life after, you know, day in, day out football sort of thing. So, yeah, it's definitely something that appeals to me, amongst other things. So, you know, I think you've got to be sort of open-minded and keep all the doors and options open as you get into the last stage of your career, because, you know, you're a long time retired, and, you know, I don't think the missus could handle me being at home every day. So